Welcome, everybody, and we're starting it off with Trump Watch.
Lord God, help us!
So he turned on the water taps, and he's all big and speechy about it. The thing is, though, is with the Trump playbook, you gotta blame somebody. So
I sent him to California to turn on the water. We turned it on. It was not easy because we had to go through a lot of environmentalists that are causing a lot of problems.
Oh, those pesky environmentalists causing problems. There always has to be somebody to point the finger at with this guy, right? But he continues his playbook by showing us who the real hero is.
Billions of gallons of water. It was on 3 days ago. You probably saw. It should have gotten a lot of press, but it didn't get much. All we're doing is giving Los Angeles and the entire state of California virtually unlimited water.
Wine into the press, he didn't even get enough coverage of it, but virtually unlimited water. Well, there's like 3 billion gallons or something. And he brings up LA. Funny enough, we're getting to that coming up. But he continues to show through this that he has no clue what he's talking about. He is the orange painted idiot.
And we did it regardless of the state. And now the state seems to be very happy.
Now, the state seems very happy. They did it without the state because, of course, why would you consult the people that are actually there, right? But experts and local farmers have argued that this is a complete waste of water because it's in the wet season. One quote here, these kind of shenanigans hurt small farmers and big farmers alike. The growers have already been struggling, and the release of water when they don't need it is reckless. The last thing in the world California water management needed is somebody like Trump calling the shots when he doesn't know how any of it works. He's making an already hard situation very, very difficult. We don't have a lot of wiggle room in the state of California to be messing with the water supply like this. And then you've got Peter Gallek. He's an expert on climate and hydrology. He says there's absolutely no connection between this water and the water needed for firefighting in LA. There's no physical connection. There's no way to move the water from where it is to Los Angeles. So it's complete nonsense, right? I mean, and then he ends with fluff.
That was a big move. We have, I don't know if you saw the pictures that were released of the water pouring down from the Pacific Northwest and Canada and lots of other places. And it's a pretty amazing sight.
It's a big move. We did amazing. Meanwhile, there was concerns they were going to be flooding farmers out with this reckless release of water. And the local state folk had to calm the reserve down from over letting too much water out because there would have actually been flood concerns. The man is an absolute menace to his own people while patting himself on the back for doing such a darn good job. Wow.
What a jerk.
So let's round it out with that stinger.
I'm going to come.
Oh, come he did.
Well, I mean, as you're saying hello to a new president, I use that term loosely, you can say goodbye to the old president because, just weeks after leaving the office, Joe Biden is laying the groundwork for his post-presidential era in Hollywood. Yes, that's right. One of the entertainment industry's biggest talent firms, the Creative Artists Agency, which represents actors including Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, they said on Monday that they've signed Biden to their roster. Biden has previously been a member or a client to them between 2017 and 2020, following his second term as vice president during the Obama administration. Wow. During that time, he released his memoir, Promise Me, Dad, A Year of Hope, Hardship, and Purpose. That was a pop-up book. And launched his America Promise Tour. That was probably with Tay-Tay. Which sold more than 885,000 tickets nationwide. But yeah, President Biden is one of America's most respected and influential voices, these guys say, and in national global affairs. Richard Lovett, CAA's co-chairman, said his lifelong commitment to public services is one of unity, optimism, optimism, dignity, and possibility. We are profoundly honored to partner with him again. Yeah, I know it's not very exciting. There's got all about bloody books and stuff. When I want to see him taking on Chuck Norris roles. I want to see Biden be the Terminator or the Equalizer. Come on, Biden, we got it in you. We don't want just like a wooden tree.
We want a mixture of Air Force One and Passenger 57. Like we want him to save the plane, man, or something, right?
Or an optimistic fictional movie where he actually takes on Trump in kind of like a Marvel Universe style fashion.
Yeah, he gets some super exoskeleton and just kicks the crap out of him, right?
I'd pay for that. I think a lot of Americans would too.
Oh, yeah. Sign me up. I'll pay for the big front row tickets, man. Come on. If we can get a super exoskeleton for Biden to kick the living shit out of the president that's sitting in office now, we will be doing like raffles to get everybody there with the best tickets and the whole bit. So let's start a fund. We need a super exoskeleton suit for Biden.
Yeah. So it was a hip replacement.
Yeah. Now, there was a funny thing that happened just recently. Talk show host there, Kimmel, he discovered the awards shelf on the back of one of Trump's little hangouts there. So let me show you this. You see right there, you've got World's Dumbest Trade War. Now that is a well-earned trophy. He earned that big time. You've got World's Dumbest COVID Response. Now you can't argue that that's true, right? You've got World's Dumbest Climate Policy. And he's been rolling that out continuous. Drill, 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 kill the fish, use the water to make turpentine or whatever the hell he thinks is going on. You've got...
electrocute the sharks.
And there you go, right? The bastards, right? You've got World's Dumbest Hurricane Map. Remember the Sharpie? Oh, yeah, he proved it. He knows meteorology there. You've got World's Dumbest Election Interference. And it was the dumbest because every lawsuit and lawyer got themselves either kicked out or fired. So well done there. You've got World's Dumbest Wildfire Response, which is still going on with turning on the taps. Great one. You've got World's Dumbest Crowd Size Comparison. I can't understand that man's obsession on that one. But you've got World's Dumbest Insurrection and, of course, World's Dumbest Eric, because that son of his is one piece of work. So if you didn't know, Trump is collecting trophies for the stupid things he does, and it seems that he does care to get recognition for being the world's dumbest in so many areas.
He should get the Arnold Palmer Award for being the world's biggest cock.
Yeah. That would be an honest award to give him. Oh. So
So if you're thinking, environmentalists are getting in the way of turning the taps on in America, well, in the Czech Republic, a crafty beaver colony in the Brdy protected landscape area. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's BRDY, but anyway, it's become local heroes because after building a series of dams, they basically completed a major revitalization project entirely for free and without red tape. Yes, the Protected Landscape Area Administration had been navigating bureaucratic hurdles and permit approvals for a 30 million crown wetland restoration when the beavers decided they didn't have time to wait for that. So the colony constructed the necessary dams on a bypass gully built by soldiers years ago. This is on a military base, achieving what human planners have been drafting on paper for years.
Oh, that's awesome. That's totally hilarious.
Bo head of the Brdy, Jesus Christ, these names, the Protected Landscape Area Administration, praised the beavers' unexpected contribution. He said they built the dams without any project documentation and for free.
but unexpected? Doesn't this guy get? That's what they do. It's just
they say we were still sorting out ownership issues and permits. Yeah, the beavers can build a dam in 1 or 2 nights. Meanwhile, people need permits, approval, and funding. A lone digger would need at least a week.
Oh, it's awesome.
But environmentalists who inspected the dams lauded the beavers' work, which created a thriving wetland environment perfect for some rare stone crayfish, frogs, and other species. The Nature and Landscape Protection Agency was very, very impressed. Beavers always know best. They pick their better locations than our designs on paper. Why hire engineers when you can just hire beavers? No paperwork, no delays, and no bill.
Yeah, just talk to us in Canada. I'm sure we got a few we could loan out so that you can, improve your wildlife areas as well. It's hilarious.
You might have to send them into California to dam up those floods.
No doubt. Yeah, that's true. We could fix Trump's wrongs through the beaver.
Oh, but with tariffs.
Oh yeah.
Beaver tariff.
Oh no,
and that's not what you think.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, speaking of genitalia, we have Elon Musk. So Tesla sales in Europe are plummeting right now. Year over year, sales are down 18% in the United Kingdom, 31% in Portugal, more than 40% in Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands, 63% in France, and 75% in Spain. The overall takeaway here is that Europeans kind of just want Elon Musk and his fancy little car company to fuck off. Some media outlets are linking this to the push he's doing into right-wing politics into all these different countries, right? So he's used his social media platform X to attack European leaders, including Prime Minister of Britain, regulators in Ireland. He endorsed far-right party in Germany, the whole Nazi salute that he did and all. And he's been doing a Make Europe Great Again, mega, like MAGA, right? And I think his popularity, the genius Musk, I think it's really wearing off with people and they're just kind of sick of it. And I didn't have time before we got live, but I wanted to check because if the cars aren't selling, that would also usually mean that the cars are dropping in value some because it's a, demand-based market. So, I mean, and it's fun to imagine that Europeans are just sick of them, right? But the year-over-year numbers are also not out completely because there's been this steady decline of Tesla in these markets. Some of it's because there's other EV companies rivaling him now and coming in. But a lot of it does seem to be just consumer attitude towards the man himself.
And he must be selling some cars because he was at least just following the orders.
Yeah. And yeah. Oh, don't do the thing. And
took a while to get in there.
Yeah. And it's not just Europe either. California, the Model 3, the second most popular model in Tesla range, is down 36% in sales from last year. And California is not exactly a Trump state, as we were just talking about. So again, it really looks like Musk is going to start seriously affecting the companies that he's involved with and derive so much of his wealth from simply by running his mouth too much. I hope this is true. I hope what we're seeing is that the public has had enough and they're going to start voting with their wallets because it's the strongest vote you have. So show him that he's an asshole and don't drive his stuff.
There was a Canadian politician, I don't know which one it was, but they're saying they're cancelling their $100 million contract with Starlink.
Yeah, that's Ontario Premier Rob Ford. Yeah, $100 million Starlink contract for everybody in the north to be able to get high-speed internet, and they're tearing it up because of his meddling in politics. Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah. Canada is very upset about this stuff. And even though these tariffs have been paused for 30 days, ask a Canadian. Not one of us is buying anything American if we can help it.
Or Tesla based.
Yeah. So, okay. What the hell is this?
Wow, this is a little convention going on in Glasgow. But the organisers of Scottish, what do you call it? Scottish ScotiaCon, the convention, is shared a warning out to their furries who will be at this convention, told not to abuse other species. Or engage in cub porn at this mass gathering this weekend.
Please repeat that. Yes.
Yes, cub porn. I'll get into that. So the warning in a code of conduct document ahead of the event, which is set to attract 1,200 people. I'm not going. The rules specifically make clear that harassment of any kind of directed towards someone's race, gender, sexuality, or species of their furry will not be tolerated.
Of their furry. Okay. I was all right.
Well, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a race of a furry? I don't know.
Do you have badgers and porcupines fighting in the halls? I mean, what's going on here?
Cats and dogs fighting in the street. Yeah, but the code of conduct for the event, which will take place in Glasgow in Scotland, reads: harassment of any kind is not tolerated by ScotiaCon and will result in sanctions under our unacceptable behaviour policy. This includes, but not limited to general characteristics such as race, gender, and sexuality, or fandom specific characteristics such as the maker of the individual's fursuit or the species of someone's fursona. So, badgers cannot fight the porcupines. While attendees must all be at least 18 years old on their first day at the convention and registered. Registered for what? You're on a register?
Sex offenders? I mean, what?
It didn't specify. It says that this does not mean we will accept sexualized or fetish behaviors within public spaces, unless it is part of a closed door event that is specifically catered for this. Oh, this sounds so sordid. The organizers have also cautioned attendees against sharing works of art that are pedophilic in nature, and which is known as cub porn. That's basically a furry with a cartoon cutie face, and that's if it's got a childlike appearance, that's considered cub porn. Very strange. So hands up in the chat if anyone's going, or give us a review in the comments if you do go, and you might want to change your account. Use a sock account to tell us a sock account, sock account.
God. If you're going to that, all I can say is, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God.
And don't be racist to the cats.
Yes. Don't be a speciesist or whatever. Oh my God.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump got hold of that? That was happening in America. Can you imagine it?
Yeah. What?
They're fucking the cats. They're fucking the dogs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he'd have an elephant costume in his back pocket, I'm sure, right?
DEI hire.
So, well, speaking of which, I think this could fall under that. So El Salvador has stepped up and offered to take criminals deported from the United States, including those with U.S. citizenship, and house them in its mega jail. Let me repeat that. Those of American citizenship being exported to El Salvador to serve out their sentences.
Oh, dear.
The deal was announced after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met Salvadorian President Schmuckely, that's what we'll call him, during his visit to Central America. Schmuckely, whose iron-fisted approach to gangs has won plaudits from voters, but been heavily criticized by human rights groups. Said he offered the U.S. the opportunity to outsource part of its prison system. Rubio said the U.S. was profoundly grateful to Schmuckabee and added that no country's ever made an offer of friendship such as this. How many freaking times can I hit the goat tonight? Rubio told reporters he offers to house in his jails dangerous American criminals in custody in our country, including those with U.S. citizenship and legal residency. Referring to two of the region's most notorious crime gangs there, Rubio added that El Salvador would also take in deported migrants and criminals from any other nationality as well. Schmuckabee later confirmed the offer on X. We're willing to take in only convicted criminals to our mega prison in exchange for a fee. And they said that fee to America would be pretty low, but to us, very substantial. This massive jail can hold like 40,000 inmates.
Oh, and I bet in lovely, lovely conditions too.
Oh, I bet. There is a thing in here where they get so crammed in that it borders on inhumane. There's some human rights groups that are very concerned about it. There's been some videos shown, and it's not. This is not country club jail, the place that Trump should be right now. No.
It's kind of ironic that Trump wants to empty the Americans' prisons and put them in another country. Hang on, isn't that what he about the? Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Mein Kampf is coming to mind here. So it's awful, it's horrible, and at the same time, they're stepping up Guantanamo Bay and getting it ready to hold people, and it's just an absolute shit show. Anybody that isn't white and blue-eyed in America, I feel nervous for you right now, very much so.
Yeah, and even then, I probably wouldn't be too sure because you might have been part of a criminal trial against Trump, and then you'll be on the list as well.
Well, I've got that coming up.
Oh dear, yeah. I won't jump the gun, unlike this next guy, because a Utah man reportedly told his friend that he could dodge a bullet. But now he's dead from a gunshot wound.
Oh, for God's sakes!
And his friend is being charged with manslaughter. Yes. I'm faster than a speeding bullet. Oh, no, I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
According to the arrest report, Dylan Treichel, 23, made the claim to his friend Ashton Mann, also 23. While the two of them were hanging out, Mann told the police that he and Treichel were smoking marijuana and playing video games earlier in the evening when the conversation turned to guns. The pair then went to a detached garage where there were two handguns. After they unloaded the handguns, Treichel said he can dodge a bullet. Man aimed at Treichel and pulled the trigger. At that point, Treichel intended to jump out of the way to prove he could move before the trigger was pulled. He said he and his friend did this 6 times, both of them thinking the guns were empty, until Man pulled the trigger and allegedly fired a shot into Treichel's chest. According to the report, Treichel shot Man and he'd been hit. He asked his friend to call help. Man immediately called 911 and tried to help until paramedics arrived. Treichel, who was unresponsive by the time police got there to the scene, and was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead.
Oh my God.
When the police arrived, they found drug paraphernalia consistent with marijuana use, as well as ammunition and magazines for the handguns.
Wow. Don't media, don't be blaming us on pot. Nobody can smoke enough pot to be that stupid. That's genetic.
Yeah, it's DII. Yeah, that
must be. Yeah, brown bullets, they didn't play right.
Yeah, and according to the names, you can't even, they sound like two white guys too. So, you can't even blame it on that, can you? What can you do?
The tragically stupid come in all colors. It's a true thing. Very much. It doesn't, there's no racism to stupidity. It permeates all.
one less idiot vote you got to worry about.
You probably would have been voting for the wrong party, you know. I could see that. I could see that. So let's switch over to this guy here. James Dennehy, assistant director in charge of the FBI's New York field office. He reportedly told staff in an email that they're in the middle of a battle as the Trump administration carries out a purge of the agents who investigated January 6th. He says, today we find ourselves in the middle of a battle of our own, as good people are being walked out of the FBI and others are being targeted because they did their jobs in accordance with the law and FBI policy. It's on Friday, the Justice Department ordered the termination of a handful of high-ranking FBI officials. They were all attached to January 6th investigation. And they also requested the names of bureau personnel assigned to related cases for an internal interview. Dennehy stated that these actions have spread fear and angst within the FBI ranks, with at least 9 top agents at the FBI being fired since Trump took office. And a questionnaire has been sent out to bureau employees requesting they describe what role they had in January 6th investigations and prosecutions, including collecting evidence, interviewing witnesses, the standard FBI protocols. Staff reportedly have till 3 p.m. Monday to complete the forms, like Monday coming up. Dennehy offered to support his staff in his email, reminding them to stay calm and to avoid any rushed decisions about their careers. He also added that he would be providing assistance regardless of circumstance and that he has no plans of stepping down himself. He said, it's time for me to dig in. And this is supposedly effective running of a majorly important organization. You've got about 6,000 people that could be affected by this purge of the FBI, and that's out of a 38,000 employee pool. That's a freaking high number. And, Trump was always been claiming that the FBI's been going at him and they were used against him by Biden and the Democrats, even though that's not how the system even works. And he's really pissed at them over the raid at Mar-a-Lago over the papers. So he wants retribution.
Have you heard the latest?
Mm.
The FBI are suing the Department of Justice and therefore Trump.
Exactly. That's what I was like. Yeah. The whole thing ends with lawsuits because it's so illegal and wrong to be happening in the first place. It is a joke. Trump is literally on a personal vendetta of revenge. It has nothing to do with the good of the American people. None.
No.
Nothing.
Like that was ever going to be his agenda.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
It's all coming out now.
Yeah.
Like,
very much so. And you watch this unfold. It's only going to get worse. And there's no reason for these people's firings other than he doesn't like them because you tried to make me look bad.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. It's like being a bloody playground.
Oh, such a crybaby little bitch that man is.
But don't worry, America, because, apparently you're losing your access to pornography. But don't worry, because porn is now growing on trees. That's right. A couple were left stunned after finding pornographic photos nailed to a tree in a popular wood where parents take their children. Erica Blake and her husband Dylan saw the X-rated pictures while on an afternoon stroll. Which showed a man and a woman having sex. I don't know what else pornography is, but
were they smart enough to put these pictures on a hardwood tree?
Oh, the pair were stopped in their tracks by the 3 explicit photos. They stood there for ages looking at them. They were close to a public footpath where families with children walk by. One photo shows a naked blonde woman and another picture shows her with a man. Oh, disgraceful. They were spotted in Hamilton Woods near Burnley, Lancashire. Dad of 2, 47, said, "Oh, it was totally bizarre. We stopped off to have some tomato soup from a flask. We turned around and there they were, bold as brass. And I shouted out, 'Oh my God!' And Erica jumped out of her skin. It put us right off our soup and roll." Who would put something like that in the middle of a wood?
Sounds like he dribbled in the soup.
A bit of cream. They looked like they've been there for some time as they were fading. It's shocking as kids and families go for walks around these woods. The mind boggles as to why they were put there. We were stunned at first, but we had to laugh as we walked back the car. I noticed they didn't actually say they tore the things down. They just left them there.
Yeah, he stood there, had himself a little 2-finger shuffle pump, and then he walked off, right? You know?
Oh, Dylan, I'm feeling all hot and bothered.
Yeah. I think I'll get your condom.
Rub some of that soup into my nipples.
They're going to have to call it pornography forest now, you know?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, we have lots of rocks in pornography forest. Come get a few off.
Oh, dear. Yeah, have a wank and leave.
Yeah. There you go. I wanted to bring up a thing if you didn't see it.
That was a bad tree joke, by the way.
Well, you know, sometimes you just got to make like a tree and get out of here, right? So I wanted to bring this up tonight because Jon Stewart lost it in the last show he did. It was really funny. You know, he says he was getting really pissy about some of this crap going on. And he's like, what they're trying to do is make the default setting on competence in America a white guy. You know, that's what this is, a reset to factory default, you know.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and he showed some footage of the DEI attacks from different members of, you know, there was Pete Hegseth and there was that former Fox idiot and whatnot, right? And he goes on, because of course, these two, Pete Hegseth and Sean Duffy, they're in office purely based on merit and smarts, right? It undercuts every black person of color, woman, and in this country that have had a job. It's just the sarcasm is laid on thick, right? And he gets all, and he just looks at the screen and he just goes, "Fuck!" And it was awesome. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But I mean, you know, they keep doing this DEI thing because they're saying that never mind giving the job to somebody of color because we don't have enough people in the office of color. They're saying it has to go to merit. The best people, regardless of color, should get the job. Well, that's why Laura Trump is the, you know, co-chair of the Republican National Committee then, is it? Right? Marrying Eric the Stupid gives you credibility and expertise to us. It's just so farcical. It's not funny at all. If anybody out there thinks DEI is responsible for anything other than a stronger country, you're an idiot.
And according to the votes, yeah, most of you already are. So well done.
Yeah. Last thing we need is more dumb old white people in charge. But, you know. Oh, where are you going next here?
Well, we got a serious story about a chicken choker. Yeah, because a swimmer who was caught pleasuring his, quote, chicken at a leisure center sauna has denied that it was a sexual act and claimed that he was cold and he was just warming it up.
Okay, hold on a minute. You don't mean like as in choking your chicken. You mean like he had an actual chicken.
No, he didn't have an actual chicken.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure there.
Well, I'll skip to a bit because explaining to police, Zhang said, "Chicken is what I call my genitals."
Oh, no.
I call mine Frank, Bob, and Wilma, but, you know, enough about that. Xing Yang, 59, was spotted through the sauna's window by a woman who said he was staring right at her while he had his shorts down below his knees.
Oh!
Prosecutors said the jets in the swimming pool had aroused him. Staff at the Tom Husband Leisure Centre at Salford University confronted Zhang following the incident in March. He was been banned from the facility, and they alerted the police. And he was later charged and pleaded guilty to outraging public decency, if that's what you would call it. His basis of his plea, he claimed that he was cold for having been swimming and put his hands into his shorts to warm his penis.
Oh, dear God.
Like you do.
Of course.
Zhang apparently continued for 3 to 4 minutes before a staff member confronted him. What if it took 3 or 4 minutes to get enough courage to go and confront him? He said, well, the staff member
Jacques
said,
Villeneuve.
the staff member said, it's not the right place to have your hands on your private parts. It's a public area. Kids swim here. Yeah. It's not appropriate to do so. Samuel Hines, defending Mr. Zhang, said he has accepted his behavior on the day to be unacceptable, but strongly denies sexual undertones. God. He states he was warming his genitals up.
No,
he accepts
he was friction heat, so you know.
He accepts while not the place to do so. There was nothing more to his actions. However, chair of the bench, Rachel Mesri, said all 4 prosecution witnesses provided consistent, corroborating evidence. Mr. Zhang's evidence was not consistent, and he has proved 3 different accounts of, or he's provided 3 different accounts of his actions, providing total inconsistencies in his story. We find the act was for sexual gratification. Yes.
Busted.
The court has ordered a pre-sentence report, or what we normally call foreplay. But just a little tickle.
Oh, that's funny. We are wrapping it up here. Thanks for joining us. If you're watching us live here, stick around for a minute after this because we got something to show you. But thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Stay chilly.